So for today, for our business communication class, which is made up of accounting, marketing, HR, finance, and BCom students, they've come together to tackle a problem. There's this company called FB Engineering Services, and they manufacture different kinds of blocks for customers. Their problem is that they are facing high levels of competition. One, their factory is located far away from town to shadows, and they are facing logistics issues, loyalty issues, honesty issues, and integrity issues. Their competitors are selling way cheaper because he perceives that they are not using high quality material. Additionally, when some foremen and some contractors come to him, they want some cuts, they want high invoices, so they take some cuts. And this is something that does not agree to because he holds high levels of integrity. So that's a huge challenge that is not allowing him to stay in competition. So we decided to come together to take this problem and then see how the logistics class, how the marketing class, how the accounting class, how the HR can come together to strategically find ways using some of our business communication tactics to help him stay in competition. So we are finding out the problems one by one. We also go to the site, talk to the manager, the foreman, and then see their production cycle, and then see how they'll be able to stay in competition with our various business communication tools. So invite our various students to tell us what they think the company can do before we go to the site.
The company can do in terms of the logistics issue to stay in competition. Yeah,
Okay, with the keys, you also came out with 4 problems that companies face, and they identify that they are facing poor inventory, and then transportation issues, lack of coordination among departments.
So you also mentioned the fact that they use this generator instead of ECG, which is cheaper. So they use generator to produce their blocks, huh?
Yeah. And with that one, it costs them much because the fuel that they purchase in order for them to help them in their production is very huge. Because for instance, when they can buy, let's say, 2,000 cedis fuel per production. Meanwhile, when they go for electricity, that's ECG. They can, very cheaper. Yes, they can use, let's say, 500 cedis in a production.
That's the part that our class can look at. Their production issue. And case it is specific and they use this generator, they run on generator instead of ECG. So your buy fuel, I think it's more expensive, it's going to cost you more than ECG. So that's a boy, we're also going to make it. But another issue we have, being ECG is going to be more expensive because that's where your pole to get the ECG to pull. But wait a minute, isn't it we see the more cheaper if they spend huge money
Exactly.
ECG there? Yeah. So I think that's the way we have to be cost and getting that ECG there. Because running on my diesel is more expensive. So we also wasn't visit the site, we talk to the manager and then espouse more on golf. So what were your abilities are from your marketing and
deform the discussion? So that is the first thing he mentioned, that is brand positioning and brand differentiation as well. So in FP Rock, an engineering company, they have to brand themselves as Odoko block factory, and then also their differentiation should be that they can add a logo to the block, not to create a hole in the block, but find a way that FP would be in the block to differentiate themselves from the other companies which produce some of the blocks. And also, furthermore, one of the things they have to do is the target marketers. The people they have to target can be those who want high quality blocks. They can get 2 different type of blocks if possible, but if not, their quality is okay. But if it is possible that they get 2 types, then one could be intermediate and the other one will be of high quality, so that if you come and your money does not reach the high quality you purchase, and they should be very, very specific on their pricing method, so that if the intermediaries take the money from the owners and
they go to purchase, they cannot swerve or go somewhere else. That is the more practices that happen in the companies, so that they cannot swerve and go and buy from other people. Meanwhile, they are taking invoices of high pricing. So they educate the public on their pricing, let them know if a block is 8 cedis, they let them know, so that if the intermediaries are taking monies, they know, the company owners know that this is the amount we are giving them, and this is how they can go.
I like that. So, target marketing. Yeah. Showing different products for different categories of people.
Yeah.
That's the meditation, huh?
HR students. So what did you also find out? What do you think we can do to improve our activities to stay in competition? Yes. FP Rock.
Okay, so FP Rock Engineering, as an HR, we found the problems, and then they have recruitment and selection problems. And with that, we discuss among ourselves, and then we think the location can be a problem. The distance and where the employees are coming from can be a problem to them. And then the series problems, like solutions to their problems, you have to take series. And then in the series, you have to check their skills and then their professionalism, like how best it fits for the job. And with their when they put their vacancies out there, they have to put vivid job descriptions in there, what they want and what they are looking for. What exactly, so that the applicants know that this is what I'm coming for. Yeah. So it doesn't become a struggle when they get there. So the selection and everything, to put you here, to put you there, it wouldn't be a problem for them.
Alright, so they should look at their recruitment, huh?
Yes.
How they recruit their employees.
Yes.
Alright.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so there's also this honesty. It is on the part of employees. So we all know that FP Rocks engineering is all about carrying and the construction. So here lies the case that they deal in minerals as well. So employees might steal, some steal, and then also the fuel. So what they can do is that they identify the problem. After identifying the problem, they have to do audits. They need to check how everything is going, what is going on and all. And then they communicate with the employees. This is what we are trying to do. You are trying to implement this and that. So after the communication, that is when the implementation comes in. And then implementation has to do with CCTV cameras. You need to install them. And after the installation, you don't just install and then sit down. You need to monitor. So someone has to be in the room looking at the scars, what is going on. Okay, this person is taking this person is doing this and that. So that's it.
Alright, so more than clear.
Yeah, and also employees, and when the employees tend to leave the company, like when they're frequently without food, so they are supposed to put questionnaires out there and ask why the employees are leaving, and maybe there are salary problems, and the shifts are not flexible, because with the job it's quite tiring, and then I believe they work for long hours. So to prevent all of that, they can put in flexible shifts. That you come from this time to this time to this time, so that you get time to rest and come back to the job. And then they ask why the employees are leaving. Maybe it's the environment are not suitable for them. They don't get food when on breaks. There's a distance, so you provide all of that, and then the problem there will be solved.
Okay. All right. So that are from HR perspective. All right. Nice. Clap for yourselves. Nice. Good job. All right. So banking students. So we've seen a case study, FP Engineering, and the block factory that is facing issues with their competition. They can't stay in competition. So what did you come up with that you think the company can instill in their production or any part of their production line or their services that will enable them to stay in competition? Before we get to the site, what do you think?
So, as a banking student, regarding the production, they deal in money, and as usual banking, our work is also to deal with money. So what we would suggest is that when the customers, one point that you mentioned was customer dishonest. So in case when they come and buy the thing, they just want to get back and refund some of the money. Yeah, so in case whereby they partner with a bank and then they come up with an account, or how do you call it, a modernized account, through the payment will be done online or something. When you're done with the payment, you can't actually go back and refund the money through the online means. you can't actually go back to refund the money.
But they actually do sometimes. That's the problem. The money is actually paid in the bank. And then after everything is done, they come back and they demand for their money. So that thing is there, but they always find a way of coming back. They pay the money to the bank. They come and say, oh, instead of the 50,000 blocks, give me 30,000. And give me the money for the 20,000 blocks. So that is the challenge. So they have a banking system already. So that is it. They always find a way of coming back.
Okay, then what we will suggest is that aside the payments and everything, they should also find a way to take their productions to a retail factors. Like they should not make it company based where they produce the thing. So they should find the means whereby they will transport some of the goods to retailers. So when the goods is with retailers, you can't actually go and buy the thing and be coming back for your money, because when you sell the thing to the retailer already, you can't actually come back.
So they should put goods sold and not
refundable.
Or money paid and not refundable.
Yeah.
That's retailing. Retailing too is part of it. Okay. Yeah, what do you also come up with?
Okay, so what one of the problem the FP Rock engineering company was facing was the high transaction, and I can see that can be as a cause of their delivery system. So in this case, how to solve the problem is that they should create specific type of customers. That is, they can do it zone A for customers that are close to the production line, zone B for medium distance, and zone C for long distance. And that one they can actually add maybe delivery charge, so that maybe when they are transporting to Kumasi, but they get there, there's a specific point where do not go ahead of that location, please. And also maybe from here to Accra, you can do it for free, or from here anywhere close to the production line, they can
big the radius.
Yes, plus. But with the long distance, they should set a zone where when they get to, they are not going forward or any other.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Lastly, with their credit and other stuff, when someone buys on credit, they can make a policy that if you pay the bills within 10 days of the purchase, you get a discount. And then if you pay it or it exceeds the deadline, let's say 20 days, they will add a charge to it. It will help them get with their money when people buy on credit. That's what I think.
Good job. Nice one. Nice one too. Excellent suggestion. Anybody else? I think it's good. So this is just a initial conversation. So we'll go to the site and then have a deeper conversation with the site managers and find the production line and then see how our suggestions can also improve their production. All right. Thank you guys so much.
My name is Joshua Tete, and this is my boss. Please mention your name to them.
Say, hey. I'm Sadiq Aid.
Call him Kwame. Sadiq Aid. I'm told there are HR. Do you have HR students here? And you have banking and finance guys here. BCom guys. You have marketing. There'll be a little test because those are my areas. So let me start with the HR guys. I'm working on a contract for service. He is working on a contract of service. What's the difference? The HR guys. I'm working on a contract for service here. This is FP Rock Engineering. I'm working on a contract for service. He is working on a contract of service. What's the difference? The HR guys. It means yes. Oh yes, please. You don't have confidence. It might come in exams too. Contract for service, contract of service. What's the difference? Don't go to AI. Okay, so what it means is this. I am more like a consultant for the project. I'm not an employee. So I'm not entitled to extra security and those things. So if you are paying me, the accountant says you only deduct withholding tax.
he is under contract of service. So he's an employee. He's entitled to social security. He's not entitled to withholding tax. He's entitled to a graduated tax, PAYE. That's a contract of service. Contract for service. So that's the difference. So we start with HR. So this is FPROC. Now we're into production of anything blocked and concrete. And it's actually a very huge land. This is actually the startup. Everything here is automated. And we're going to take it through the automation process. You'll give a bit of marketing. Marketing guys are here. Finance. We talk about human resource, and we'll talk about operations as well. This is very good because it gives you everything to do with business. Okay, so the startup, the structures, the human resource, the marketing aspects, and everything you need to know. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give you an overview of what happens here, the automation process. So you realize that here, you don't have people banging the machines and all of that. Everything is automated right from bringing the materials from source all the way to packing onto the delivery truck. The delivery truck is gone for delivery. It will come very soon with the delivery guys. So we're going to take you through the process, and then we'll come and discuss the issues with regards to your aspects: accounting aspect, finance, banking, human resource, and marketing. With regards to, so FPROC as a case study and how it relates to all the aspects that you study. So you're free to ask any question. Well, I'm also into the business field some decades ago. So any question, please feel free to ask, whether it's marketing, finance, human resource, operations, logistics, banking, anything. Okay, so let's start with the process flow. And when we are through with the process flow, we'll discuss issues with regards to your specific field. Unfortunately, I started first with the HR report. I think now you've learned something, eh? Contract for service and contract of service. You might have more questions on HR. Please feel free to ask. So we will go and start from here. Or can you see it from here? So the payloader cuts the rough into the rough, the smooth, and then the river. And there's a kind of a vibrating machine down there that shakes them and, stirs them good. He knows the right times to use. And they are mixed. So this machine, this payloader, takes it from here, dumps them in there, and then they are mixed at bottom there. Then the conveyor belt takes it into the next mixture where the cement is then added. There is a quantity that the machine determines. So depending on the quantity, it determines the amount of cement or bags of cement to use. How many bags are we able to do in a day? Like full capacity? 100 bags. And that gives us like how many? 8,000 pieces of blocks in a day. So in a day, we can build like 1.5 houses, normal 3-bedroom houses. Or are doing full capacity.
And this one is a valid fitted.
When it cash finish, we equal it.
That's the final product. So everything here is full automated. So if you want to do, this is the full blocks, maybe 5-inch, 6-inch, the hollow, there is a mode, pavement, and so it depends on what you want to produce. You set the machine with the mode, and then it does all the other things that the technical man was talking about. And here we also use a borehole. So everything here is on this land. We also run on the gensets, the plants, for power. And then you have our water borehole. So the water is supplied onto the machine. That is exactly the water it needs to mix. And then, it takes it to the final, and it's brought here, forklifted, arranged, dry, packed, and then onto the delivery truck, and then away it goes. So that's how it is. So everything here is automated. So we operate from this land all the way to where the container is and beyond, and that's because the other equipment and things that are going to be added on in terms of the capacity. So currently we are not doing full capacity, and of course we'll show you why we are not doing full capacity of the 8,000, because you're not building enough houses. So if you start building houses, you come and we'll produce for you. Then we'll probably do double of your orders. Okay, so that's what we have here. Good. So now let's limit ourselves to the specific fields of each one of you. Where do we start from? Marketing, of course, marketing first. Without marketing, but there's some conflict between marketing and accountants. Do you know that?
Go to the main business.
The main business, marketing and accountants have conflict. What's the conflict? What's the conflict in marketing guys and accountants? Who knows that? I'll give you 1,000. Between marketing and accountant, what is their conflict? Okay, should I tell you? Then I'm keeping my 1,000. So when it comes to marketing doesn't give immediate results, right? Marketing sometimes takes time. So you start your survey, you look at the pricing, look at the customers, and look at the demands and things, and what you think will help them market. That takes some time. The accountant is not interested in putting resources in and taking a long time. I mean, accountants are risk averse. They are not interested in taking risks. They want to see quick returns. So somebody, when you say, let us put this amount of money into marketing, the accountants are a bit reserved. Marketing guys are more creative. Accountants are conservative. They don't want to spend. Sometimes the spending takes a long time to see the results. For example, like this place, to do marketing for this place it's not like a 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It takes time. They said there are some estate houses there. You need to show them why they should buy from you. The difference between the quality of what you're producing and what others are producing. Why your price is high and yet in the long term you are better off. That takes time. So you want the accountant to invest money in marketing. But accountant is looking at this will be some 2-3 years. Why should you put money into? So that's the conflict between accountants who are very conservative and marketing guys who are always, because marketing you have to look at new ideas and all, whether it is short or long term, right? So that's the conflict. Now let's come to marketing. You realize that this is not like off the shelf something that you just go and pick and sell. It's something that has to do with a capital intensive in nature, somebody who is putting up a building. So it involves a lot of money, investment. And if you are putting up a house, you start with the budget, right? You buy the land, you look at the budget. Now, your engineer, whoever is going to put the house up for you, gives you a budget. Now, in the budget is this cost of blocks or materials. This is going to cost these intensities. But then there's another one with a lower cost, which is, let's say, 6 cities. Which one will you go for? 10 and 6. You go for 6. Exactly. But you see, you build a house in a year and a half or 2, you see cracks. Right? You see cracks in the building. The effect of going with a cheap product. You see, that's one thing. The second thing is there are so many other block factories around. If you count between here and, did you see that big factory, the bakery? You have like 11 block producing factories. Okay, so why should somebody leave all of them and come and buy from you? So what value proposition are you offering that makes yours better? Sometimes you want to use pricing, but you can't reduce your price so low as you run a loss, because if you look at the materials, your standard is a bit higher. The standard of the other one is a bit, so that's another challenge when it comes to marketing for a place like this. So aside the cost, sometimes pricing is also an issue, and there are so many other producers, so that becomes a challenge. And sometimes it takes a long time for people to see the effect of what they are buying before they make their mind a change and then come over. So sometimes you need to price yourself just to break even, okay, for some time, until you think now when people now buy into it, you can now gradually increase the price. So that has to do with the marketing for this place. So what are the marketing guys? So if you are employed as a marketing manager for this place, how will you go about it? Where will you start from? So this is a new project. There are so many other machines, equipment to come on board for this place, and you have been appointed or employed as a marketing manager. How will you go about it? So what kind of advert will you be looking at? How will you go about your advert? On a TV. Okay. It's not bad. But another effective way, don't you think you need to go into the net and look at the industry? Because most of these engineers, estates, companies, they have an association and things like that. And you can probably have a database of all the construction companies so you go specifically to them. You go to the target, you target your marketing. You get it? Because if you go and do a general advert, you might be spending money, but you don't get your target. So if there are some association, organization, construction firms and contractors, you can specifically talk to you look at them. And also you look at proximity. You see, if you ask me to take the product from here to Adenta, do you think it will be cost effective? When I'm doing free delivery, will it be cost sensitive? Will it be price effective? Because from here to Adenta, and all the guys are doing free delivery. So you can't say that, please, when you buy, you have to deliver yourself. No. So how do you do free delivery for someone who is buying from Odoko? He's seeing your quality as good, but the delivery to Odoko, can you imagine? Would it make sense to you? So sometimes you also have to look at the proximity. It means I have to actually drive through town and see new construction sites, isn't it? That might be more effective than a general, because general advert will run all the way to Tamale and on TV. Who will come and buy it? You see, so sometimes proximity and the target market helps. And you also want to look at the price, the market price, because you can't sell beyond the market price. No matter how good the product is, if you try to sell beyond the market price, people won't buy it. Ghanaians are price sensitive. So you want to also keep a kind of a balance between your pricing and the market price. There can be a marginal increase because of the quality. But if you use price alone, you might lose. It might produce and lock up your capital.
So here, what's the normal price for a solid block? 80 or 70?
So it depends on how the quantity you are buying. Current 6 inches and 5 inches.
This is 9 cities.
And the 5.
8 cities.
So it's 1 city different. But if you are buying a huge quantity, there could be a discount.
So does the price affect how much the business is running? Does it to a large extent? Because what Foucault said was that some of the block, most of them sell them for 7 CD, but here is 8. So how are you going to beat that?
Good. So you see, that's why I was mentioning, look at your target market. So when we go around, you see the masons and they are there. So we carry some of the blocks to them. When they see the quality of the material, sometimes the owners, they themselves buy it, right? They call us, the owners themselves. Because when they see, you carry a block and I drop it. Yeah. And it comes so soft, breaks to pieces. I carry this one, I drop it and it's still solid. And you're paying just 1 city difference to have that quality. And you are told what goes into this block. And you're not just told, but when you have time, we'll bring you here to come and see it for yourself. So it's not like, what some people do? They carry something different. For example, if I'm looking for something from Standard Authority, I carry something good and I get a certification. But the real thing is different. No, that's not the same here. So sometimes you have to actually get the owners here to come and see things for themselves. So now when you even mention the price, it's no more an issue for them. So that's what has been helping us. So we get them to see the difference in terms of quality. And that has helped us a lot. Right.
Yes,
any question? No question. Okay. So let's look at the accounting guys. Do you have accounts or finance guys here? Oh, okay. So the accountant and finance guys, accounts. Banking also, we'll come there. Yes. If you are told to handle accounting matters here, what will be your focus?
What are they?
Accounting matters here. What will be your focus if you are employed as the accountant for this place? Is a new place developing? The marketing guys are doing their part. What will be your focus as an accountant here?
One of the problems
Cost control. So you look at costing, you look at budgeting.
I believe you guys are running
So you're looking at costing. Okay. Yes.
Huge amount of money for me.
So here's the question. Okay, all right. But you mentioned you will look at costing and budgeting as you're curious. Okay, so let's answer your question and we'll come to the other things if you're... So what goes into costing? The element of cost, right? You look at materials, you look at labor, you look at expenses, you look at some overheads, you look at some marginal markup, right? And sometimes you even have to look at your statutory obligations. Good. So here, we did a settings. So we see, okay, let's take 100 bags for an 8 hour. And we know how much fuel we bought for that 8 hour. And how many quantity of blocks we got for that. So you divide the quantity by the element, of course, the materials that went into that 8 hour for that 100 bags of cement. How many staff went into it? And then so we look at, and when we finish the cost, we also looked at the market price. You get it? And that affected the amount of markup to put on it. So we did a kind of a scientific test to see what goes into an 8 hour shift for 100 bags of cement in terms of the rough, the smooth, and then the river, and then the cement, and then the electricity. We're running so the genset, and then we add some, and that one is arbitrary, some elements of repairs and overheads. And then when we finished, we added the markup, looking at the market price, because we couldn't mark ourselves up more than. So after the markup, I realized we're a little high. But if we say we are going to come that low, we might not even break even. So we need to explain to the customer. And we can't also reduce the quality of the service because we want to reduce the price. So that's what went into the costing. So that's what to do. But I'm still on the question, if you're an accountant, what will you do here? You talk about costing and budget. What else will you be looking at?
You have to look at the documentation aspect and keeping proper records. You have to keep
So that's accounting system. Okay.
Really skilled accountants, not just any accountant. You a professional, and then keeping proper books of records.
I mean, right from inventory through to sales, you have to be proper accounts.
Very good. Very good.
also your statements. You have to be well
Vested in it, try to prepare them right on time to be able to present to your CM and the CEs and the shareholders so that they know the progress of what they are doing, whether they are investing right or wrong.
Okay. Very good. What about internal control procedures? Because you can have documentation, do everything, but that doesn't mean that it's proper internal control. So your regular reconciliation between what has been procured and what has been produced, and see whether they match up. So internal control is very bank reconciliations, the revenue against the production. So all of these are things you have to look at when it comes to internal control. So aside costing, budget, which is more finance in nature, you have to look at your accounting system. You need to look at the internal control procedures, right? If you're able to keep this in the well proper balance, then you're okay. There's another aspect. You have something in your mind. What and for accounts, guys, what other aspect are you looking at?
Okay, so I'll say PP. I asked a brother and was saying that for you to produce, you say for the poultry, you need to buy, for you to produce that tank, so more like 14,000. And when you check it with the kind of production rate, I think the cost will be higher. For any company exists to make profit, and in making profit to minimize cost. So I suggest for the company to make more by minimizing costs, we can connect.
Perfect. So now you are veering into finance. So that is excellent. That is more finance. Okay, that is finance. In that difference between finance and accounting, sometimes people confuse, they're not the same. That is finance. So that's a very excellent, because you need to reduce your cost. And we'll touch on the finance in more detail, but that's a very important aspect. So another aspect is statutory. Now everything's on the portal, GRA portal. Nobody filled forms, and you just have to have your TIN number and the password, that's all. Withholding tax, PAYE, everything is on the portal. So you need to make sure that the company is on the portal. They are filing returns. Because if you don't, the penalties will come, and it will come and hit you big. So aside the internal control accounting systems, you have to make sure that you're actually on the GRA portal. You don't necessarily have to make profit. Just file a return. Tell them what is happening. But in telling them what is happening, as an accountant, you have to be careful you don't give your money to. You need to have to manage your resources in such a way that, because sometimes what you think is profit is not profit. If you take out your depreciation and other costs, you realize that the real profit is not really what you think it is. So if you're filing returns and things like that on the portal, POI and things, you want to be careful. If you're filing people's PY, you don't carry everything and put it in the income. Then you go and pay huge amount. No, you need to keep a kind of a balance. So that's the work of an accountant. But now let's come to the finance bit, which he mentioned. So if you are employed as the finance officer, they are not. There's an sometimes one person can play the dual role. It's good. But if you're employed as a finance person here, so this is a case study, the case of FP Rock as a finance person. What to be your key areas? What to be your focus? Banking and finance, let's put them together, yes. Securing loans is good, okay. But do always have to secure loans, because you can have it by way of owner's own, or but each of them has some kind of benefit, and so you are looking at financing, securing loan, okay, that's fine.
Maybe you have different, maybe you have a sales loan cap, you have expenses account with the bank, and also you have maybe labor for your employees. You create an account for them, so that if any case you are paying them, you use that amount in that particular account.
Okay. So you create some kind of escrow, some kind of a separate account for like a purpose vehicle, okay, special purpose vehicle kind of, okay, good.
And also we have asset-based financing.
Okay.
Maybe the loans, you are not asking for the loan like for the business.
A specific target base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe on the technical, we can finance account.
Okay.
They are not able to pay the
So in terms of ownership, it's split between you and the financier. Okay.
And also we have which the problem Ase gave us was that we're having problem with asking you need to support bank. That one you can create with the bank. You can let's say create a direct payment through the bank, and all your receipts should be taken out. And maybe if you're having a large client who deals in big things, maybe quantity of the work, when you make sales to them and you deliver it to them, you can wait. If the delivery is confirmed before you can process the payment to the bank.
Excellent, very good. So most of the things you mentioned has to do with finance. Finance can be by the owner's own or from outside. Sometimes when you take it from outside, the benefit is that you're able to take the interest out of your profit before you declare the profit before tax, right? So in terms of tax, it is good. Except that when the interest becomes so big, and there is what you call thin capitalization. You have a big debt and a small equity. So you the owner, have just put in 100 cedis. Then you say I got 1 million from outside. It means that the company is thinly capitalized. When GRA comes and they are doing their tax computations, sometimes some of your interest they will not allow. Sometimes I'm the owner that will intentionally give the money to someone, give me as a loan. Then I'll be paying interest. So that's thin capitalization. But it's a good finance ideas. So put this on a digital platform and be able to monitor and control. You don't physically take cash. It helps. Another thing for finance person is variance analysis. Like monthly, quarterly, just check and see what I plan to spend is this. This is what I actually spent. Where is the difference coming from? I plan to produce 10,000. I produce only 8. Why? Maybe demand dwindled. So budget variance and actual budget variance analysis is good. Costing is another. Cost control is another. All of this has to do with the finance aspect. So it's a good pointing, but HR. HR. You want to have a question? Okay. Please, a question. Let me ask a question.
towns where we send them out there and come and purchase because we were talking about delivery fee and all this and stuff. So I was thinking that if you have shops
Around town.
Yes.
then it should be easy for people to come and purchase their products.
Yes. So we are now starting. So what we do have is the cement, the distribution shops. We have a product there. So when people come to buy cement from them, they tell them, please, if you need quality blocks, go to this people because we can't go and pack this. You know, you need space for these things. And when you pack it, you also need machine at every location, which will be difficult to do. So, but we have blocks, different 10 places. And even where we go for the materials also, we also have products there for the, and that's for the marketing guys. You can place a product at where people buy their raw materials. So when they come, they see the blocks and it's out. So we don't really have a product like a depot at different places, but we have a product at places where people go and buy raw materials. There's something I forgot on the accounting side. It's about reporting. Reports. Because once you are reporting, you also want to be mindful of the IFRS standards when it comes to reporting. And if you find yourself in the public sector, you have to know about IPSAS. Because public sector, they don't use IFRS. They use IPSAS. So if you're an accountant here, they use IFRS. But if you find yourself in a public sector, you have to be sure you know the PFM Act, procurement, and all those things. But here, it's more to do with IFRS standards. And you know, from next year, we'll start with a sustainability report on the IFRS. So you need to know all of this when it comes to reporting for accountants. So please take note, reporting is very important. HR. Yes, we started HR, contract for service, contract of service. But now you are the HR person employed here. Come and manage us. We don't know anything. So come and manage us. What will be your focus? Is who is helping us? So in the case of FP Rock Engineering, you are the HR manager. What will be your focus? How will you go about it? Yes.
For the HR, we are going to focus on the well-being of the employees.
And I don't know if I should give the question I wanted.
Okay, ask the question first. Then.
How you employ your work?
I won't answer that question. That is, one more say yeah, they will come to it. If I answer and I'm answering all, no. Tell me, you are the HR. Now you are going to. This is not like a brewery company or some. This is a factory that produces blocks and pavement and things like that. And you are our HR managers.
So with the HR team, we are going to focus on the employees. How well the employees are treated when it comes to their salary, their working environment, how safe they are. I mean, with the machines you guys are using, their safety, and when it comes to their salary too as well.
Yeah, well, I think the HR will just focus on the
Well-being of the employees here on site.
Okay, very good. There's more. So who add up? Thank you very much. You've it's a good startup. So.
And also to talk about the recruiting, how you call recruiting, like when you come up with that. So with the after you are done recruiting,
So how will you go about it?
so taking, I don't know if you guys do that, but then with the CVs you check if their skills and then how well they know about stuff like this. And I believe when you recruit them, you take them through training and development. And then you mentioned that your machines are
Automated.
yes. So basically, they just have to know how to go about it. So you take them through training.
So training and development is one. So you mentioned recruitment, training and development. Okay. And then she mentioned the welfare of personnel. Oh, okay, that's good.
And environmental.
And environmental safety. Very good. So how will you recruit for this place? You are here, there's nobody here. They set it up, they are now looking for. How will you go about recruiting people?
So on social media platform.
So you put vacancies out there and then you announce that you are looking for vacancies. So since they apply, then
How about poaching? Poaching. You know what poaching is? Okay, so there's another factory somewhere there, maybe they have some a standard like this, and there's a good person there who works hard. What will you do? Won't you go and take the person? If they're offering you 10, please come and I'll give you 12. We call it poaching.
Is that right?
Yes. So you don't just live where you are, because if you live where you are, it means that if you can also live it. But you have a contract with them. So normally they say, okay, give us 3 months notice or pay in lieu or something. You need to meet that condition. Because if you just jump on here, it means that you can also jump from here too. So another way of getting people is by poaching. Poaching, most of the media guys, they do a lot. You see, he's here, and tomorrow he's there. It's a shower kind of.
Doesn't that cause embracing?
So it depends on the condition of service. You see? And it depends on the communication and the work environment. Work turnover happens, and it is not always on salaries or other things. There are things that influence work turnover.
And then it doesn't cause conflict.
Between which managers? Yes. So you are stealing from another company
Doesn't it
in the same industry.
the same in that?
Yes. So you have to poach some people here. I'm not telling you. We have to poach them from other places, because see, they already know how to manage some of this machine. So you don't waste a lot of time training them. This man here, he can drive this truck, he can do this, he can run this machine, he can operate the forklift. I didn't say he was poached. I didn't say it is him. I'm just telling you. So he knows how to run everything here. So if you can't, don't try poaching him, because he will not be accepted. We'll put some kind of big terms on. He's working for 100 years after you can take him. No problem. So it's good you get sometimes somebody who, when it comes to HR, it is very good to pay more for a knowledgeable person on board. And then you can do your normal best and get others who will then be trained. In the long term, it is cheaper. But places like this, sometimes we need to poach. Because if you are going to now bring people who are novice and come and train them how to operate this, you do a lot of maintenance, repairs, because they don't know how to efficiently run these things.
And then when we were talking to the market, we spoke about
Yes.
so I think you guys have like a long-term agreement, or like you are just time.
So we are not the knee-jerk approach system here. So we have a plan. That's why I told you that this one is just a startup. So the plan, you can see the plan in acquisition of the property. So the land is like 8 acres. An acre is 4 plots. So 32 plots. So it's very big. I mean, it goes all the way. So there are other machines and things, but what happens is that you use some of the resources here to build on the other ones.
So basically, this is your main.
This is a startup.
So how do you go about?
How do you go about with the system of the employees?
Okay, accommodation, because they are okay. So we have an accommodation for staff. Yes. So we have a place that accommodates the staff, and so it's not far from here. There's a story building there. All the staff here accommodated except 2 people who have their own houses around. But we provide accommodation for staff. And we provide lunch also for staff.
Free.
Yes. Every day. So that is part of the costing. When you're doing your costing, your overhead costs, you factor all of that in.
Then you also
And then he also spoke about the
Yes. Yes.
So we are this and
So a delivery truck it's gone for delivery. In fact, they're waiting for us because of the delay, so they left. So they'll be in swing. So we have a distance that we can go. We can't go beyond. If you are going beyond something, you have to look at the pricing because of fuel and all of that. Of course, if you want us to bring to Tamale, you pay me 1 million cedis per block. Why would I come? Hey, you don't want money. When I said 1,000, nobody wanted us, whether it's 1,000 cedis or 1,000 stones. I said 1,000, you're in a hurry to get the money. But it wasn't money, I meant 1,000 stones. Okay. All right. So HR, I think we are covered there. All right. So any question, please?
My first question is about when you were talking about, you said, what do you call the people you advertise your product to are the owners of the building.
Some of them.
Some of
Not all of them, no.
So I want to find out, we know that we have market intermediaries who intend buying to build for the owners. So if they come and check and then tell the owners that this is the block we have checked, and then the owners give them the money, but they don't come here to buy, what do we intend solving that problem?
So it's most of these are the engineers, these are the quantity surveyors, these are
Solving that problem.
the stakeholders in the building industry. Foreman, the mates, the foreman, the mates, those are the intermediaries in this industry. Okay. So if the person has contacted us, my man is coming to buy from you, and he doesn't come, I just go back to the person. Please, we haven't received the order yet.
This is the situation. What you are saying now is the situation whereby the owner have contacted you.
Yes.
But what if the owner haven't contacted you?
He's not contacted us. Okay, it is the intermediary who contacted us, and he didn't come and buy. Oh, people have options. The fact that he's in here doesn't make it an obligatory for him to come and buy from us. Okay, maybe he likes the quality, but maybe Missy Council. You see, but sometimes we encourage people to. So we also sometimes discuss, okay, can we do a little? That's how the price is like this. Or sometimes we do a little discounting.
I also
To accommodate those.
So I also think sometimes the intermediaries do tell the owners that we are coming to buy from here, but on the actual time they don't come. So once you have been able to position your block as a quality in the minds of the people, you can try to also blind it by getting a logo on the block. Do that after the person have purchased it, and then the logo is not on it.
Okay. When we add logo, means that we're even going to add to the costs.
Yes.
So what we do is we have a list of clientele. So we call them. You see, we call our clients. So we have a list of the client, their location, their contact numbers, and all of that. So you have a database. So what we do is we call our clients. Exactly. But you don't want to add to your cost already high cost, because when I'm going to print the logos, it means our construction, it will not be possible for logos. It means that we have to come here and add that cost here, because everything that comes, the logo should be there, and to be difficult. But what we have a database of the client, and we call them regularly.
My second question is about a code.
Yes.
So let's say you have a personnel who is well skillful. Yeah, that person is a goodwill to the company. Yes. So as you are spending the person out to a different company.
Yeah. No, we will not send the person to a person.
The person is leaving to a different company.
Yes.
Won't that one also let you lose some of your market share since the person is leaving?
Okay, so what happens is that we are poaching. We are poaching. We are looking at HR, getting quality staff. We are not giving or outsourcing our quality staff to somebody. You mean when somebody is leaving? When somebody is leaving? Oh, so you see, we try to create the business between the company and the clients. The mistake people do is sometimes the business is represented by a person. No, the business is represented by the business. So when you move, the business still deals with the person. So some of the mistakes companies do is if you employ me, then I use my own personal phone to run business for the company. If I'm leaving, I take my personal phone away and I go with my customers. But when you come, you are given a business line. Every official thing should be done with a business plan. If you're not there, another person takes over. But sometimes it happens. When somebody is good, you lose something. You lose some clients. I mean, realistically, yes, it happens. So when we poach, sometimes we also got some clients. It benefited us, but I don't want to suffer that sin.
The last question, I want to know the market share you are currently having and how the company is trying to add up to their market.
When it comes to data and market share in Ghana, it will be difficult to give you something realistic. Because one big thing about not just this industry is sometimes the data you have is the formal one. Like I told you, if you want to get a real data, then you need to actually look at, for example, how many facts of this nature, not just the one like this one. How many of this nature between here and let's say the motorway? What is their revenue? What's their clientele base? You know, if you're doing profit data analysis, I don't have that data to show the percentage that we have. You getting it? So that, okay, out of, we own like 20%. It is easy with the like mobile telecom because they have the regulator that has all the information in. But our industry, I don't know. So each one for himself at this moment. Yes, a question. Okay, ladies first. After Beijing conference.
We are talking about the fund.
Yes. Yes.
So to gain a client, you guys do that every time,
Regularly.
like
No. Sometimes when they come, you see, you don't even, when you look at the shape, you see how exact, like, okay, let me give an example. Have you bought a tile? Have you seen a tile working? And like when you put the two tiles together, one of them is a bit, it's not good. When you travel out to like where most of this come from, like China, so we have the different standards. So we have the ones going to like US and Europe. Then you have the ones coming to Africa, which is very cheap. So when you go and you say, well, this is the same tile. Or when you buy it in power, this is 100, this is 20, so it's low. So when the tiler is working, then you soften, then you have to cut and something. Then you see that the tiling is there, but one is a bit, they are not on the same. So it's the same. Sometimes when you look at the, you don't even think, when you look at the shape, you can see everything is like pepper, like. So when you draw your line, the mason or whatever is working with it, all his dimensions are spot on. It's not like you have to press, and depends on the bolts of kinky if it's in, then you understand. This one, the machine is standard. Everything is calculated standard, so it's not like, so sometimes you don't necessarily have to drop, but we'll give example. Who has much, let's take the guy before he come. I want you to go and lift just one block, a guy. Go and lift, go and bring just one, not the whole, just one. The ones over there, the ones here. See, yes. Come. One is here, just close. Please bring it. Carry it and bring it here. Let's see something. So do you see the weight? These are the dimensions and the quality. So when you put this down and you put another one down, then you see, here's the first, please, you can look at it and see, are you ready to pay extra 1 cedi to get a quality thing like this? So that's why we don't use humans. It's a machine that does all that. If you're going to carry this yourself, so everything is machine forklifted, and packed. Okay, it is the delivery truck is here. So the delivery truck is opened and the forklift carries it and drops it. You know, there's some pallet under the blocks. The same way this, before it dries, there's some small pallet under it. So when it's dried too, there's a big pallet. So it carries it, drops it on the delivery truck. So now, let me tell you some of the challenges here. And the challenges are what we just discussed the challenges. Some of the challenges has to do with financing. And when I say financing, you know, mentioned the electricity. Who mentioned electricity? Yes. You see, so we have actually gone to see ECG, and the nature of we don't need the normal electricity, no, because of the kind of transfer. So we need a transformer, a dedicated transformer, dedicated only to the factory. So to have a dedicated transformer, they need to take it from the high tension, the one on the main road, those high ones, and then take it all the way here. And that is a lot of money. So we're working on that. So finance is one of the big issues. Because once you get electricity, it will reduce our cost of production by like 30%. Because using generator, imagine you're using generator in your house every day. Compare that to your ECG. Imagine every day in your house, when you get home, you on the generator. You have to buy petrol. I mean, that'd be expensive, right? So finance is one issue to get power, because now, unless you are doing production, everything here is off. The generator is off. So finance is the one big issue. And the finance here too is not like to take money from the bank because of the interest and all. It is not, I think it is reducing, but at the time it is expensive. So it is more to do with equity. A lot of the funding is equity. So
the energy problem, the power problem, you're running on generator.
yes.
But you're selling at the same
Yes, that's it. That price. So you realize that our margin is smaller.
So that means if you get to run on ECG,
We can reduce the price
we can read
if we maintain the same margin. And
30%.
yeah. Yes. And that will make you more competitive. Because if you are selling something like this better at even cheaper price, why would I go and buy? But to get the transformer and to lay it all the way here for you alone is
It's a lot of money.
I don't want to mention the amount. You can get me a Range Rover. I need one right now.